Hello students of class 10. Today we are going to do the poem My Own True Family by Ted Hughes. Ted Hughes is an English poet and a poet laureate. Not only this, his notable works include Hawk in the Rain and Tales from Ovid, given in your book. This is not a new chapter for you, I've already done it. This is a revision. Now, as we have already done it, we know that through a dream narrative, the poet is trying to show us how trees are important for our survival, for the survival of mankind. Let us read the poem once, My Own True Family by Ted Hughes. Once I crept in an oak wood, I was looking for a stag. I met an old woman there, all lovely, slick and black. She said, I have a secret here, inside my little bag. Then she began to cackle and I began to quake. She opened up her little bag and I came twice awake, surrounded by a staring tribe and me tied to a stake. They said, we are the oak trees and your own true family. We are chopped down, we are torn up. You do not blink an eye. Unless you make a promise now you're going to die. Whenever you see an oak tree felled, swear, you will plant too. Unless you swear, the black oak bark will wrinkle over you and root you among the oaks where you were born but never grew. This was my dream beneath the boughs, and the dream that altered me. When I came out of the oak wood back to human company, my walk was of a human child, but my heart was a tree. Now, in this poem, we find that the poet met an old woman when he went inside an oak wood in search of a stag. Stag is male deer, it's given in your book. And met an old woman. And how was that old woman? Old woman was nobly stick and drag. That is, the old woman was weak and feeble. And she was wearing torn clothes. Okay. That's nobly stick and drag. And what did the old woman say? The old woman was also carrying a bag. So she pointed out at the bag and said that I have a secret inside. I have your secret inside my bag. And then she made a cackling sound. Okay, that is a very strange kind of harsh sound. Generally witches cackle in that way. And the poet began to quake. Quake means tremble out of fear. So the poet began to quake. And then the moment she opened her bag, the poet, she cast a spell on the poet and the poet began to dream. That's what she began to cackle and I began to quake, and she opened up her and I came twice awake. Now what is this twice awake? Twice awake is the inner awakening of the poet. Okay, twice awake is the inner awakening of the poet. That is, the poet realized the importance of trees, one, and another thing, he understood that the oak trees or trees in general trees are his own true family. That is, he is very much part of the means he is also a part of nature. And then what did he dream? He dreamt that the means he saw that he was tied to a stake. Okay, stake means a wooden pole, which is driven into the ground, used for supporting a plant in that way. Sometimes used as fences, sometimes used for many things. Now he was tied to that stake, and he was surrounded by tribes. And who were these tribes? They were none but oak trees. Okay, oak tribes. They were the oak spirits. Okay, and what did they say? They said that we are chopped down, torn up, but you do not blink an eye. Blink an eye means you do not bother. Okay, you do not bother, and so today you have to make a promise. And what is that promise? That whenever one oak tree is whenever an oak tree is felled, you will plant two instead. Okay, that is, for one oak tree you will plant two trees. If one oak tree is cut down, then you will plant two trees there. So this was a promise that the poet had to make, and they said that if you don't make the promise, then we will all wrinkle on you. That is, we will all fall on you, and you will be dead. You will be rooted to this ground, and you will be dead. Now this was his dream, and after he, after his dream broke, after he came back to reality, he was a changed person. That's why he says that the dream altered me. That is, I was a changed person. And how was I a changed person? My walk was that of a human child, but my heart was a tree. Okay, walk was a human child means apparently I was a human being, true, but I realized the importance of trees. I realized the importance of tree. Not only this, I felt sorry for the fact that the trees are being ruthlessly cut down, and man is not aware of the harm that is being done to the environment. I realized that it is high time that man should realize that they should not cut down trees for their own selfish ends. And also another thing, I understood that we human beings are also part of nature, so it is our duty to preserve nature. So this is what is the realization of the poet. Another thing I have already told you when I did it in class, that is this old woman stands for Mother Nature. Okay, that is how Mother Nature is being destroyed in that way. And it is this, his search for a stag is also symbolic of man's search for a living. So through this poem, the poet is trying to tell us about in a word, afforestation, how we should plant more trees, and how trees are our best friends. Okay, or rather we are part of the family, okay, part of nature. So this is for the poem today. I have given you a PDF, and I have given you the questions over there. Already you have done it. The simple means quite simple questions. And along with that, I have also given you true or false. You know that you have to write true or false with supporting statements. We will discuss the question and answers in the next class. I hope you have understood the poem. Thank you, students.